Well, we have 5 minutes. No
to make
stress.
other work.
I think we got it.
We got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're being heard.
Can you hear us now?
My
Chat.
note.
Can you hear us?
It's brought.
Okay, someone says yes.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Sweet, and I'm seeing
So important question. When mainnet?
4 minutes.
Wow.
3:49.
All right.
4 minutes.
No,
it shouldn't be happening. What is the address that you're
Interface dot. Oh, it's the dry run address.
take out dash dry run?
Okay, can you correct the HackMD instructions? Which HackMD is this?
Oh, is that Ian's?
Imagine watching this
Yeah.
live stream.
Yeah. Like, wait, we're trying to
Where?
Sorry, guys.
Is there another? There's one, at least one countdown, right? On the
Namada
Explorer
Block
75.
wait, can someone on the live stream post all
Yeah,
the
there's another one.
faces?
There's
Yeah,
two.
chat.
So, 3 minutes, 12 seconds, 5
He does
seconds,
give up.
4 seconds,
Does he,
Shout out.
3 minutes and counting.
3 minutes.
Let's let the
How do you feel, Gavin?
How do, yeah.
relieved.
Relieved.
Yeah.
Relieved.
Yeah.
This is,
I'm relieved.
it's only the
because-
beginning.
Well, I'm relieved just because all eyes have really been on us. You know, nothing can really happen without looking at us, I think.
Right.
Whereas now this sort of becomes a living thing. And so now it's more than just about us. Yeah, bit by bit.
That's so deep.
um,
Love it.
Now it becomes, now Namada becomes an organism.
exactly. We're giving birth. Right, Brent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just give
I
me
feel
some-
it. Literally read my mind.
Is this, how many validators are ready for Mainnet?
Do we have where's Gavin's little tracking list?
Oh, I stopped tracking.
It's like hundreds, right?
Which
I stopped tracking.
Yeah. So hundreds of people are
Wait,
getting
Is
ready.
it going to feed back? Zach, the
Audio.
audio's going to feed back in.
30 seconds left.
So hundreds of validators are getting ready to give birth now to Namada. That's what's
Oh, that's
happening.
all
Exactly.
these things that
Yeah.
way. Well,
It's
100
not
It's
million,
just-
right?
amazing.
It's not just Brent and I giving birth.
All of us. We're in the maternity ward.
Right.
Okay, and so we also have, do you have this, we can live stream where the validators are coordinating in the Discord, which is actually quite quiet. It's like the quiet before a storm.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Oh.
terrified that no one is talking in Mainnet coordination.
I guess because we're just that
What
coordinated.
is there even to say?
Maybe-
I don't know. Nothing to talk
Oh,
about,
because
really.
it's just ready. Like they're ready to set up the nose.
Yeah.
They're not, but at least they should be there.
People are probably bored already and they left the
Wait,
computer.
shouldn't we just ask like first word? Like we in the previous test, last people we just post the notes is ready, like
Jesus Christ.
the print from the command line.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Okay, we're live streaming this channel.
Ooh, is everyone here?
Okay. And Brent has a
So-
note online that we will see whether it's happening or not. You can
I also
You can also live stream that.
This is like
Oh, we
live
could-
stream
we
now.
could
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
So
What-
we-
what-
so
Okay,
we've got-
guys, 20 seconds left.
So we've got,
Can you hear
I don't know if everybody's here,
Yeah.
but we have 205 validators.
Yeah.
For Genesis,
Wow.
right?
Genesis
205.
validators.
205.
Out of a possible, and then we expect more to join post mainnet. So these are validators that
Oh, please don't.
Participate
Not
in
everyone
pre-conference.
submit your bonding transactions on the second block. Give
Here
the
we go.
network time
There we
to
go.
breathe.
Okay,
the
Genesis
time
time
has
is
come.
kicked in.
Go to the Explorer.
There we go. Full note over
Time
there.
has come.
Should we?
I
Wait.
assume this will work. When
Should
they
we?
don't-
Who's running? Oh, it says 1 minute.
What is this? Can you send me the
Start
link?
it?
Someone said started. What's your notes?
I got a
It
block.
would be great to stream.
You've got a block?
I got a block.
What?
I
Wait,
don't
we
know.
go.
Brent, why don't you have a block?
We have blocks.
I don't know. Do I need it? I'm
Slow
like
this
these
slow.
other tiers. I have seeds, but not
Woo!
tiers.
Congrats.
Okay. What about yours? Yours is
What?
not saying.
Do the honors.
It's not
Ah,
saying
sure.
anything.
Wait, no,
Wait,
we need
wait,
at least
wait.
like Chris. Do you have blocks?
I have one block, committed block hash.
Who signed the first
No
one?
celebration.
Can you show the
No, no
can you show the
Someone
chat?
says 3. Someone
Like
says
the
3.
Discord
My node
chat.
may be slow.
have 2.
You have 2.
Well, Julie, do you want to
How
get
many,
on the live stream?
Julie, how many seeds
you
and
want-
peers?
Join in on the live stream.
If validators are celebrating,
Block
blocks.
2.
we've got a second block.
Got a second block.
So we had our second block
have a block chain?
in under a minute after our target launch.
Right.
Wait.
No, not opening.
I
Let's
just-
get-
Yeah. I want to get
just
to
don't
like.
want any of that on
Let's
me.
get to like block 100 or something.
All right, is it too early to celebrate?
Yeah, I would go for it. Let's get to block like, at least
But it's not supposed to look like
at
this,
least
right?
not
This is
more
not-
than there, right?
Okay, wait. Let's see consensus. Do we have a? Oh, okay. We can see consensus.
Okay, let's see what's happening.
It says we have 66% of voting power.
Okay, that should work.
66.
No, not yet.
That-
No, we need
that sounds
67.
like-
We need
Yeah.
66
Oh,
plus
oh,
67.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, not enough consensus is online right
Where
now.
is,
So where's the
that's Mandragora.
Mandragora?
Hold on.
Oh,
Someone's had 2.
but like, no, we need more. We're stuck in block 2 right now, right?
Yeah.
Block 2.
Okay, and I can share this
Oh,
link
fuck,
with
I'm
you.
getting flashbacks to launching Cosmos. And we got stuck.
It is stuck.
Okay, and Zach, I'm gonna send you a link so that if you want, you could show
But
where we're at,
we have
for
cool
voting power.
block explorers online
Wow.
right now.
Yeah, shout out to
No, we have awesome
explorer75.org.
Where is this link?
For one of explorers is the one we're currently using to check status of consensus, and so we can identify yours.
Oh, and we've got another one too. Ballot first shows block. Oh no,
no,
nothing.
it's not showing.
It's not showing yet.
Yeah.
I mean, this block explorer says 6% online. This is in the like pre-vote count, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess we don't have
I
enough.
think
people
Valid,
online.
one of the.
Oh, 66.97. Committed
um,
another block.
we-
Woo! Block 3.
Block 3.
Yes, making progress. Meanwhile, Dieter.
Well, it's really important.
All right, now we have enough. Now we have. Okay, so we had.
All right, I need.
It took us 3 minutes to
Okay.
get rolling.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
block 4. Okay.
Block
Here we go.
Or-
Block
5.
4.
We'll see
all right,
things
before
updating.
my mother.
Except Brent's node
I
is
think,
still not
I think
working.
Brent's node screwed this up actually. Maybe.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna change. I need. Who are the good peers and the good seeds? Clearly, my seeds are
Okay.
crap.
Guys, Brent needs seats. Can you post some in the chat?
Give me. Tell me what are the good ones. I just took the top 2 on the Mainnet Genesis repo.
We should meme this thing where like, instead of send nudes, it's like send me peers.
Yeah.
Send me good
Send
peers. Send peers, please.
Send
DM me
peers.
peers. DM me peers.
Here we go. We got 74% of voting power
Ooh.
online.
Sweet.
Wow.
P2P started to recover.
Here we go.
That's a nice explorer.
Are we okay? Are we okay though?
I think we are. We're better than okay.
Doesn't
No.
That took.
tech node.
Someone send some transactions.
It took.
What?
Yeah, we should
Are you
have
crazy?
transactions.
No transactions yet.
There have been.
No,
There have
there's
been.
I think you said
Someone
someone
sent
did
transactions.
send.
We have
Yeah.
blocks.
I didn't say send. I said send.
Someone
Yeah,
sent.
no. Stop
No,
sending
blockchains were
bits.
not designed to be used. For now.
Oh.
I'm using. Oh, Mandragora is not online, right? I'm using his seed, so that's.
He's online now. It looks like.
Honestly, this block square is great for defining
Yeah.
consensus.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Big
awesome.
shot
That's
at
a really great way to-
75.
It's a really
Yeah,
great way to
explore
visualize
75.org.
what's going on.
Can someone send the link to the block?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome public good.
Should I just put like? Should I put every seed?
Yeah, of course. So the way the seat stuff works is you get all the seats once, and then you start
Unit
buzzing them.
410 is proposing. So when there's a validator
Oh,
proposing,
Unit 410 warning.
We have block height 13.
That one's not good.
when a validator is not online that's proposing a block, then it'll show almost no voting power or no voting power.
Which block height did Cosmos get stuck on? Was it like 18? I don't remember. It was like,
We should get at least to 100.
I think we passed it.
No.
No, we passed the one where.
We're at 15. We're at 16 now.
Where
is the link
to this explorer?
Oh, wait,
I
on
just sent it
Discord.
to you in Signal.
Signal, thank you.
Sorry.
No worries.
Is the Explorer doing its thing? I think once it's rolling,
Is this a good
I
Explorer
remember
to
it not
show?
showing
Okay, wait.
very accurately.
Brent, where can I find you?
I like it.
Go to
So,
Namada Mainnet Genesis.
Zach, the
Namada dash
consensus page, I don't think it shows it accurately once things are really rolling, so it might not be worth even showing now.
Are they doing it Were they like trying to
Yeah.
stick through it and earn some type of fee or like? There could be many reasons. They're trying to build a reputation.
Wow, hello to the 6,100 people
Maybe.
tuning in.
Maybe
Wow.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, wow.
This is what actually decentralized
Hello,
launch looks like.
Shielded
Yeah.
community.
Of 200
Maybe not
crazy,
No, but I
stupid
mean,
people.
all the things.
Wait,
Running
what?
distributed
Well,
consensus
you know, it's
groups.
funny because we got a lot of advice. We got a lot of advice
It's a good way to learn,
not to
like,
do it this way.
people
A lot of people were very emphatic about us using like hand select some validators and do it as like a very controlled launch. And we did this once in a dry run. It launched a minute faster than this. But within 3 minutes, we launched with a Genesis set of 205 validators. So it can be done for anybody
So this is like
watching.
Yeah.
the shout out to if you're launching a blockchain, please launch it decentralized.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can be done.
Yeah.
It's not, and honestly, I think it actually might go
certainly a fraud.
even in a sense even further, because this way, really the stake, like the really active stake, the ones that could participate in pre-Genesis, decided how it was weighted, like which validators would be the ones launching, or at least have the most power in launching. It was still
I
like
can't
fairly
believe this.
Height 31. Height 31. I think it's just a shame that like for the last 3 years you don't see decentralized launches anymore. It's almost as if like completely lost a huge part of the reason why we're building all of these things.
Yeah.
It's like you build a protocol, cool tech, but then you like operate it, you launch it, you kind of coordinate the community as like a Web2 company.
Yeah.
This is the trend I've seen. It's
And then
like-
once that happens, then you're like everyone's forever dependent on what's like official.
I think the precedent that it sets is just makes it so hard to change it later on
Yeah.
when you want to kind of like actually turn into a decentralized
Yeah,
community
when you
later
want
on.
to legitimize, like leaders,
What's our agreement
right?
on celebration block height?
I think 100 is a good target.
100.
Yeah,
Everyone
we're
feel
like
good
getting
about
there.
that?
We're getting there.
All right.
Yeah. So I think it's completely underrated how important it is to like set a good precedent pre-mainnet
Yeah.
for a stable growing ecosystem, decentralized ecosystem, and community going forward.
Yeah, we decided that we wanted to start the way we mean to continue, and really, it's not scary. It's not that hard. I mean, it's challenging, but it's not as hard as I think people think it might be.
Well, amazing job. to-
Yeah,
Well,
guys in Discord.
I mean, it's really a big part of it is the validator set is like really stellar, and the right amount of delegation has gone to really active validators.
this is super awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of independent
Nice.
operators.
It's also cool to see a bunch of cool known
Oh
validators.
my gosh.
Yeah.
You recognize them names?
Yeah, for the cryptid times,
Yeah.
the times we run validators as well.
Dominoes. Informal, post-human.
Yeah. Yeah, so big shout out to all the validators.
Hey, Robert.
Hey.
Stop doing live streaming.
Watch out, you're on live stream. You're on
Robert,
live
say hi to live
Hello.
So,
So?
I was just saying, like, a big shout out to all the validators, all the pain and all the efforts and everything you've gone through over the few years supporting the protocol and all the stuff. We actually have also been there, but again, like at the times we were running crypto. So yeah, big thank you for supporting us until now. It's awesome.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I think Xerox indexers actually.
Oh, okay. So all of the infrastructure is being run like in a distributed way as well. So if you're looking for a wallet interface, there are a number of links. I think one of the easiest ways to get started is to go to namada.help and install the browser extension, and then there are a number of supporters who are providing Namadillo, which was built by the Helix team, the Namada interface.
I would say
Yeah.
we started building it. It's indeed an awesome job shipping this like right before on time for mainnet. So like from block 1, you have a easy to use, like anyone, an accessible end user interface to interact with the protocol. But I would say like Namadillo is where it is today because of the involvement in the community as well. I remember the community has been really active in giving feedback to the team and also just like testing it for an old dry run and also the previous test labs. So I think Namadillo is also a community project.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a try.
I would just put every seed actually. Like my recommendation, if people have trouble syncing their nodes, I've always just put every seed into the seed config. Because like the way the P2P stack works, it connects to all the seed once to download a list of of peers known to them, and then just disconnect. So it doesn't matter if you connect to all the peers at the same time.
To clear my cache.
Mm.
It keeps going to redirect too often. But I can open it in a
Yay,
hidden. I can open it in a hidden window, or like in a private window, but I can't open it in.
Is your node running? Sorry? Is your node seeing blocks?
So Namadillo is being hosted by
A number of providers.
a number of pros. Cool.
I'll show you the list.
Cool. Yeah. So for a little bit of like context and history on the development of Namadillo, this was the goal to like make the tech accessible for anyone, just with a few clicks of a browser. It connects to the Namada keychain. But we designed it thinking that actually it should be self-hosted, like you should be able to self-host it, but primarily with the goal of having it hosted by the community, for the community. So it's super cool to see that in Mainnet we had many community members supporting Namadillo. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, maybe if you're hosting Namadillo, post a link in the chat of the live stream. There's a lot of people here. Maybe a great time to get people to test it and to try it out.
Lots of transactions now.
What?
Transactions are starting. Good.
Mostly bonding.
That's pretty much
The only thing you can do. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, maybe we should set expectations about what comes next, because now that we've launched, and what block
Are we past block 100?
Go to the Explorer.
77.
77.
Okay, block 77. I would say let's
wait
get to
till 100.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it like?
Wait till 100.
6-7 seconds a block?
Should be about, probably going to end up being 7-ish, 7.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right now. It might depend on which transaction volume. But
I'm curious, who was proposed at block 1? Just out of
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
it probably was, shouldn't have been the largest validator.
I mean,
Oh, no, that's 80.
No, it's 80.
whoops. Yeah, but I'm just doing that to get
Go
to
down.
Yeah.
yeah, congrats to
Kintsugi.
Kintsugi.
Kintsugi
Yeah,
was
Kintsugi.
the proposal of block 1. Cool.
That's cool.
That's so cool. It's gonna go down in history. You can put it like we advertise like proposed block 1 of Namada Mainnet.
Yeah.
Also, we should give a big shout out to our Block Explorer.
Absolutely. There's
yeah,
some
yeah.
really solid block explorers.
Yeah, we're gonna go through
They
all of that
already
after
know
we
better
do
than
100.
ESA scan at this point.
I like Explorer
Alex-
75.
Explorer
Great colors
75,
scheme.
Bit
Yeah.
Season, Alex Bit Season has an awesome block explorer. Shielded.live, of course.
Bit season.
Bit Season.
Wait up.
It's a Namada.developers.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And we have a few more up and coming explorers as well.
Oh,
Um,
I need to get charge mine.
There's just so much to talk through, right?
Yeah, we've also got
Yeah.
Namada-explore.sproutstate.space. I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop that in the.
I think we have time in the live stream. There's so much to sort of wrap. Like the Namada ecosystem has like more than 100 sites built in it, pre-mainnet. So this is before we launched.
Good job,
So-
kids. Super notes. You have 4,000 delegates.
What?
Yeah, they made
Send me the
they made
Oh,
a
right, you guys made
pre-Genesis.
the UI. That's
Yeah,
super.
pre-Genesis
Ah.
interface.
That's how Chorus 1 got big in the day, actually. Chorus 1 was one of the very first validators in the world that like had a nice staking UI on integrated into the website.
It's a sense of satisfaction.
We are at 7,600 people tuning in the live stream. Can we make it to 10,000? So your friends, feel free to share the live stream with your friends, on Twitter or something like that. Let's see if we can get to 10,000 people joining. That was so cool. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We'll invite people.
I just want to wave to my family. They're watching. They sent me a message and a picture. You see?
Oh.
The baby's looking a little grumpy, or maybe he's concentrating.
Is that the child that participated in the trust setup?
Yeah.
In ET
Yeah,
costume?
that's Avery. So Avery
Oh.
participated and actually had his own participation to this.
I can actually share the link. I think we keep the records.
Yeah. There was a picture. He was wearing like an ET costume, but he like hit a bunch of random keys.
Ceremony. I'll drop the link about the ceremony. Just
Oh.
no matter just set up. Yay! Here you go. Yeah.
The only way to watch this is Twitter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Twitter.
They're saying they can.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, we need to
we're
update.
past block 100.
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey! 100 blocks.
Who made it to block 100?
Who did 100?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Shielded.live hasn't caught up yet. I'll check.
Don't kill anyone.
Chorus 1, proposed block 100.
First one.
Nice.
Whoa. OG validator.
That's a champagne cork.
I did consider spraying you for a moment.
Don't.
No!
And I thought otherwise.
Oh, we gotta like update the page. Whoa, congrats!
Oh, they did find a way to watch it. Yay. That's good.
Awesome. Got to block 100. 111. Oh,
So
that's
nice.
really good.
We haven't
Really
halted
fast.
yet. Fantastic.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I shall hold one, but just hold one.
I'll have one share.
Sure.
Oh, come on.
We need 2 straws.
Why don't you like?
Drink it all.
Yeah.
That's my alcohol.
Chris?
Sure.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
2 months worth.
Cheers.
Yeah?
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bing bong.
Cheers, Brent and Gavin.
Bing bong.
Become one.
Anyone else want to?
We've merged.
We've merged.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Label
Take
it on
one.
there.
There you go. You take one.
And cheers to the Shield community who's joining.
We
Yeah.
should do New Year's
Okay.
live stream for Namada.
So, development for this. When did it start approximately? Do you have a sense?
2022, beginning of 2022, that's like around the time when we organized the
Like
the
that's
Noma
what
Code base.
Yeah. So we're getting on close to 3 years.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
does that feel?
I'm very glad that Brent came along.
Yeah, that was a huge help.
Yeah, basically everyone was just like forgot about Namada, and then Brian came along and was like, we should launch this.
That's exactly
No,
how it went.
Yeah, it was not quite that. It was just like, honestly, Namada is as an end-to-end protocol. It just comes with a lot of innovations.
Yeah.
It's actually quite complex to launch a custom L1 with especially like novel cryptography, novel ZK features.
Yeah.
And on top of it, make it like end-to-end integrated. So like just the ambition of launching not just bare L1, but also like all the support and the integrations and user interfaces and all the stuff.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of work that needs to be front loaded to make it really easy and elegant, basically.
This
Yeah.
is also that it's just like the space of things that the protocol touches is just really broad.
Yeah.
There's like
Well,
not just the cryptography.
yeah, Namada's not built using Cosmos SDK. You know, we wrote a whole Rust state machine from scratch.
Yeah.
We tested it, stuff like shielded set rewards.
Yeah.
It's pretty new and took a lot of work.
Yeah, it's like all the cubic proof of stake was engineering wise a beast.
Bit of a feat.
A fun experience.
A beast.
Thanks to Informal for auditing it. So
Yeah,
if it's
absolutely.
wrong, it's their fault, not ours.
And of course,
Shout out Manuel Bravo. I think from Informal, he was very helpful.
and of course Zcash. Right.
And big shout out to Zcash. Yeah.
So what were you guys trying to achieve with cubic proof of stake?
More decentralization of the validator set mostly.
Yeah.
Cubic proof of stake means that if bigger validators or a bunch of validators in the same span of time commit an infraction, they'll be punished cubically more.
So with the hopes up like that would incentivize, even if you're a validator and you were splitting your stake across different nodes, you would at least try to pursue different kind of like security
Operational
strategies and
strategies,
setup for each of the nodes to decorrelate. In the worst case, decorrelate from the other nodes.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was the motivation behind cubic proof of stake.
And it's nice, it's like a bit of a nudge in the right direction. A lot of people have proposed different ways of decentralizing stake. It's not like a lot of them like suggestions are heavy-handed and just probably won't work. Whereas this one, it's kind of like, okay, if you're delegating to a big validator, your risk starts to get a little higher and a little higher, I think, for being punished if they do get slashed.
And it's one of the first protocols to try this, or?
To have cubic proof of stake.
Yeah. So
And actually, there was this time where there was a lot of innovation around consensus algorithms, civil resistance mechanisms. That's what proof of stake came out from. Going forward, I think most chains that care about decentralization are gonna rely on proof of stake. But after I think 2018, basically innovation around this area just like stopped. So yeah, Chris, I think we're with.
Do you think?
Like
Twenty
Curie.
years?
Yeah, I mean,
I should get that too.
Shout out to Sunny. I think the original time we discussed, it wasn't called cubic proof of stake back then, but the original idea of correlated slashing came from some years ago discussion around the time of the Cosmos Hub launch.
I think we discussed it in the Berkeley office.
Yeah, that seems.
What year was this?
possible.
2017.
I mean, there was the age of like trying to very precisely design proof of stake incentive systems.
And to be
now we're
fair,
just calling them multi-sig.
to be fair, he did want to introduce it to the Cosmos Hub, and I
He
like
wrote an ADR, yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess the political capital to push it through was rough.
that was a bit my fault, and by a bit,
Oh,
I mean
no.
mostly my fault, I think.
Were you opposed to it or what?
Yeah, I don't think I really understood the importance of it,
Uh-huh.
and also the premise for it seemed flawed at the time.
Right.
Yeah, like the premise, he focused mostly on there being like the concentration of stake and how it's like being more and more centralized. And I was like, actually, it's not. Actually, the only concentration has just been specifically to Sunny's validator. Because he had a zero. Remember, because
Yes,
he
I
had a
remember this. Yeah,
zero
yeah.
commission validator.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, it's a new experiment.
Who built Namada Scan.io? That looks really cool too.
I can tell you
It
that.
doesn't load at the,
TNSO.
it doesn't load at the moment, but it's cool.
It's TNSO 888 TNSO.
This is the first we're seeing that one actually. I don't think it was present for any of the test nets. This is the other thing too, actually, that a lot of the providers, like people who have been making these explorers, they've been supporting like, countless test nets. So we're really grateful for that. It makes life so much easier to be able to have a web interface for this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Noter says pop a balloon if the stream is actually live.
Do it.
Balloon, if the
What
stream
do we
is
have to pop a
live.
balloon?
We have a lighter.
Yeah.
Please take a big.
Are they
It's gonna
hydrogen
explode.
balloons?
Helium. Helium.
Careful.
Yeah, no.
What if it actually burns?
That's me.
Can you take one out and like do it in the in the
Do it
distance?
in
Yeah,
front of the camera.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Are we doing it together? Is that what we're
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. It works.
Satisfied.
It works.
All right,
Oh,
what
no,
are we,
that was
what
a
are we gonna
joke.
do next? Chat.
There's just so much chat about, right? We just
can
asked
invite
like when
people
is
as
all
well.
started.
Yeah, we should invite people in live stream.
Yeah, you want to?
I mean, now
invite
that
some
it
people
actually
in.
worked without a hiccup.
We've got some guests. Right? How do I? Somebody.
We got Ao, Chango, and Rizlozing Jojo.
Right? So we'll be having guests joining now.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Okay, so we have 160 transactions so far. We have only 24 validators are missing. 181 out of 205 are online.
Wow.
Wow.
That's sick.
Lock times like 7 seconds or so, which is actually fast enough to build like payments like infrastructure, I think.
And it could be faster, I think, right?
Yeah, we could
Wow.
easily make it faster. Yeah.
All this
Actually, this may just
lightness.
be conflict value in all of the validators and the.
We set it like with the default
Yeah,
validator.
it's a default
configuration.
common BFT value, but if that's being lowered, that I think would be it.
I guess Shield Expedition really like beat people up.
Oh my god. Don't even.
I saw
It's too
somebody
soon.
asking. Somebody was asking for Shielded Expedition Season 2. I'm totally down to design it and make it even harder.
Oh no. Trauma.
Yes.
Um,
PTSD true.
Exactly.
Flashbacks.
Okay, so we should clear this as now that we've launched. This is the first phase, right? Of 5 phases.
Yeah, this is phase one.
So we're gonna do a phased. We're gonna go. It's a phased launch. So we're not everything works yet, right?
Yeah, only proof of stake and governance are active. The next phase will enable rewards for proof of stake and start minting some inflation tokens into the PGF account, which can be spent by governance for public goods funding and projects, contributors to the ecosystem, contributors to tech that Namada relies on, all kinds of things. It's up to the people out there in the ether. Yeah.
Okay, so let me translate that. Phase 1,
Mhm.
people can take their Namada tokens, NOM, and they can bond them. And that's how Namada gets its security. So, if anyone breaks rules, then they lose part of their bond. And so that's consider this like an economic guarantee that Namada is going to work the way you expect it to work. But why do that if you're putting your tokens at risk? Well, in phase 2, then you'll start being rewarded for bonding, and also an amount. And the way where that comes from is that the Namada token supply increases. So
Figment is offline.
Figment's offline.
Yeah.
Good data.
No.
Good job.
Shout out to Figment.
Yeah. But at this phase, not only validators are, empowered. If you receive any NAM at Genesis, now it's time to actually just start staking and contributing to the security network. You don't have to run a validator, you can stake to the validator.
Yeah, so you can delegate. That's actually an important point as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you have tokens, you don't necessarily have to run a validator to benefit or participate.
Delegate, help decentralization.
And when that happens, this is also like a stake weighted voting system. So to coordinate decisions, it's based on stake in a token voting system. So the validator inherits your voting power, but you can always override the validator. So
You also want to give an update on the staking rewards when they turn on. And
Yeah.
Not worried about just staking phase 1.
Yeah, absolutely. So if it's good to stake in phase 1 to be ready for phase 2. Phase 2 will be activated by a governance proposal. So this is decentralized launch, which means it's we have to coordinate as a community. We'll have to put up a governance proposal. The governance proposals take about like a minimum, like I think about 4 days, 3.5, 4 days.
Yeah, right now the voting period is a minimum of 3 days. Then a proposal can activate a minimum of 1 epoch later, which is 6 hours just about. So yeah, 3 to 4 days is about the minimum that a governance proposal will take to go from being activated on chain to activated in the protocol, placed on chain and then activated in the protocol.
Right. So when a governance proposal goes up, the governance proposal can do just about anything. In this case, it would be to enable minting of tokens to pay out rewards to stakers, and everyone who decides to participate can vote on that proposal. And if it passes, then it'll execute, like it'll do its thing automatically. And yeah, I think validators have 2/3 of that period to vote, and then anybody who's a delegator has a bit longer, the remainder of the period to vote. So delegators can vote longer than validators can. So that way you don't have like a validator just kind of show up out of nowhere and swing a vote.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of a clever innovation.
Yeah, I
I
think
haven't seen that done in governance.
Actually, can you elaborate that?
Oh, well, Gavin just said that in, for example, Cosmos governance, unless they changed it, but the version that I remember, both delegators and validators can vote, and delegators' votes overrides the votes of their validator, but they can both vote for the whole period.
Yeah.
So if you're a delegator and you see, oh, my validator voted the way I want, I don't need to do anything, and you stop paying attention, your validator could change their vote right at the end.
Yeah. And
then your votes don't get counted the way you want it. So this is kind of a more efficient way.
Yeah.
Gives delegators safety.
And also like validators, because all of the voting power aggregates, because they inherit the stakers' voting power, you could have like a particularly large validator kind of like hold off to see where the vote is heading, and then at the last minute they could swing the vote any direction they would want. So this way, it kind of everyone's got to show their hands, at least validator-wise. Everyone has to show their hands like 2/3 of the way through the voting process.
Yeah, more power to the delegators.
Yeah, actually, it's very practical because as a delegator, you just have to wait until the later stages, and then you ensure that your vote is going to be the last one.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing it in stages is because we want to do this in a measured way. We want to see, observe that everything's working the way we expect it to work as we gradually ramp up to full functionality. It is ready to go. We have tested it in a dry run, which was basically Mainnet, but we didn't call it Mainnet, and everything worked very smoothly. So we expect it to do the same here. And the other thing that happens in this second phase is that we call it PGF, like public goods funding. So tokens aren't just minted to pay rewards to stakers. They're also used to aggregate in at an address or an account to be used by governance and or a public goods funding steward to direct non-tokens as rewards or incentives for people who are contributing to Namada and even to public goods around Namada. Because there's a whole lot, there's a whole lot more going on than just Namada in this space. There are a number of projects that are really pushing.
Well, it's possible to run for PGFs doing now, right?
Right, exactly.
It is.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. With a governance proposal. And then in phase 3, we'll activate IBC, which means we'll be able to have assets from other blockchains deposited with Namada, and then we'll be able to shield those. One of the things is that NOM tokens specifically won't be able to be moved, and the solution to that, to pay for transaction fees, is you can actually use the token, like the IBC token, if you want to deposit Osmo or Atom or something else, you can actually also use that to pay your transaction fees. And we'll have, for safety, we'll have rate limits so that only a certain amount can move on chain in an epoch. Can be deposited with Namada in an epoch, and then also have a cap of how much in total could be deposited
Mhm.
to Namada. And then, yeah, no, in total, right? Isn't there a global on it?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
There's a
mint
there's a
limit.
min limit and a throughput limit.
What's the mint limit?
That's what is we have to set it by governance. By default,
No,
for every
No,
channel.
but that's a global limit.
That's the token.
That's a global limit. So it's just like a token amount global limit
Um,
of all IBC tokens?
No,
no. It's always per IBC channel.
Okay.
So there's a global limit per IBC channel.
Right. So if we say atom, you could say like if the mint limit is 1,000 and the through like the other one again?
Throughput.
The throughput one is like 20, then I can deposit 20 every epoch. But once I get to 1,000, I can't deposit anymore.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's what I.
I don't know if we. By the way, we are at almost 10,000 viewers on the live stream.
Oh wow!
Almost.
There must be 9.5.
Wow, that's
Yes.
There's like 500 people left.
Let's get more. Let's get a few more. Almost.
9.7, nice. The other thing is, did we already talk about staking UI and staking rewards only starting phase 2?
Yes, that's what we were
Right.
just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so that's phase 3. We'll gradually ramp that up because we want to really make sure that's like kind of the go. We can't really go back. The point of no return once we have all of these assets being deposited from other chains. And the point of that is that you can deposit into a pool, and there's we use something called a MASP, a multi-asset shielded pool, and that's the strategy we have for protecting people's data. Because right now, when you use a blockchain, it exposes everything. And it exposes all of your past transactions, like links them to your present transactions. So that is like the purpose for Namada. We're saying, instead of saying, come build on our chain and leave all the other chains, we're saying, continue to do what you're doing on existing chains, but use Namada to protect your data.
By the way, what's your favorite UI?
Are you talking about
Like
wallet
websites?
interface?
Yes.
There's only one.
I know, but like there's a number of them. Like in
You
some
mean
of
like
them work.
of
What are you talking
Namadillo
about?
and Explorers,
Namadillo?
and I would say
Anything.
Namadillo because I think our engineers who did Namadillo have worked their tails off.
Is it Namadillo or Namadillo?
It
I
could
don't
be
know. I
either.
change it every other time I
if
say
you
it.
if you
Depends on
speak
what country
Spanish,
you're in.
I say Namadillo, but Namadillo, I guess if you're an English speaker, right? Like there's double L.
I guess it's Namadillo. Is it supposed to be like armadillo?
Like an armadillo.
It's armadillo,
But
Namada.
armadillo
plus
is never armadillo. right?
It could be.
Maybe in
Or is it sometimes in other
Latin
languages?
countries.
It's your shielded companion for the multi-chain.
Right, so phase 4.
Phase
Is that
4?
the increasing the IBC rate limits?
No, that's in phase 3.
What's in phase 4?
Phase 4 is when we
Collect
start
other
minting rewards in NAM into the shielded pool,
Right.
and you get these rewards for keeping assets inside of the shielded pool, and thus contributing shielded liquidity and contributing to the strength and like utility of the pool itself.
Yeah, there's this sort of like chicken and egg problem. The strategy, like for protecting data, means that you kind of have to blend into a crowd, but you need a crowd first, and no one wants, like if you're the first in the crowd, then you're not really blending in. But then, if you're rewarded for doing it, there might be people who are like, I don't really care about being a part of the crowd. I just want to get rewards. So, minting tokens, just like we're paying for people to stake for securing the protocol, and we're also creating new tokens to reward people for participation for like public goods. We can also mint tokens to reward people for making deposits. And it's really a bootstrapping mechanism, because once there's a bit of a crowd, then the people who actually want to benefit from the crowd, from blending into the crowd, can get their benefit, and the crowd can grow from there. But this is kind of like chicken or egg problem. And a lot of times I think when we see new protocols that use this strategy, the pool size, the crowd stays a little bit too small to be useful. And so this is like a fairly elegant way to help drive that. And I'm really excited to see how it plays out.
We just made it 10K
Oh, damn.
people tuning in.
10,000 people
10,000
watching.
people in the shielded community
You
watching.
want to start inviting some guests on?
Yeah, let's bring some guests in. Last thing is that is phase 5, and that's when the NOM token will be transferable.
Yeah.
And that's
NAM party.
NAM party.
NAM party.
Nam nam nam.
Yes, the block party has started.
All right.
All right, who do we have?
We got Rilso.
We see. Is this the best place to?
Ooh.
Rilso, are you there?
He's really excited. Actually, I've never done this setup. So.
Hello.
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 Howdy.
Oh, congrats on the launch. So very excited.
Hold on, we're gonna
Very
adjust
excited.
audio.
It's some audio issues.
Maybe his screen can also be bigger. It's super small. Or if possible, otherwise it's okay.
Do we have you there? I don't think so. Let's see if Django works.
Django Unchained.
Hello, Django.
What's up, guys? Congratulations.
Hey.
Hey,
thanks.
Django!
Oh my gosh. Good
No
to see you
space
guys. I'm off duty, and so I wasn't expecting to come online. So I didn't pack it. I'm traveling.
But it's not retired, right?
No way. In fact, I'm gonna suit up with the new one.
Excellent.
It's never
Thanks for
retired.
joining. So
Yeah,
what do
thanks
you?
for- What's up?
Oh, I was going to ask, what do you think about privacy these days in blockchain?
Oh, it's more important than ever before. Yeah. I mean, it does look like everything's on the up and up because, we have a new administration. So yeah. But maybe CBDCs are not on the near horizon anymore, but privacy is still very important. And I do hope that this administration gets to pardon a lot of the political prisoners. So yeah, and obviously the whole Roman storm thing was very scary, but I hope that didn't scare off people from continuing to build out privacy technology. We need it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been in this space for such a long time. We keep hearing people talk about how close we are to adoption, and it feels like it's just been so long. And I really think that who's going to use payment rails that expose all of your transactions, right?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if enough people care about it yet. But what's important is that for the people who do want privacy, that option is there. It's one of those things where
there's a big difference between degens and discerning organizations that decide to use this infrastructure enterprise level or at scale, right? It's hard to imagine that they're going to use this and have all of their transactions just completely mapped out, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think if we can walk back AML KYC, that would be a huge win. Because it's one of those things that it catches the 99% of good faith actors to try to catch the edge case, the 1% of bad people. And so it's just it's kind of like casting a wide net to catch fish, but then you're catching the other sea life, the whales and everything, and the turtles and all that as well.
Yeah. And in even still doesn't really catch I had heard a stat something crazy 0.2% of money laundering is caught through FinCEN using AML and KYC stuff, whereas the burden to maintain that, to comply with that globally is kind of unfathomable.
Yeah, totally.
And including, right? That's a big thing here. We're trying to build open systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So I'm so glad you guys are finished.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's crazy how this step to like making crypto just a better financial rail than the existing system, like banking system, traditional system with the fiat currencies. The only thing you needed is to actually support privacy natively. Just think of like, but it actually hasn't happened, right? They're like the mostly used currencies are usually stable coins, but actually haven't really seen stable coins used broadly at the scale with privacy. And I think maybe that is like the main reason why adoption hasn't grown, just because really for real world businesses, for real world use cases, privacy is just paramount. And it's actually so simple to enable it. But it didn't happen until, it's part of the reason why I'm very excited about Namada's MSP is that we bring ZK shielded transactions to any assets. And this includes all the current stable coins as well as like upcoming CBDCs or whatever currencies are going to come that people would want to use as forms of payment.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so how would people in the future be able to use Namada as a payment rail? Like, let's say if yeah. You know, for example, I'm walking around Southeast Asia or something with my wallet, with my Namada wallet, and I wanna like let's say exchange USDT on NAM for like, I don't know, cash, right? And I have like a vendor on the ground, and you know that vendor is gonna give me Thai baht, you know.
It's all, I mean, shielded actions with osmosis, for example. Like once you can route all these things via osmosis. If you then want to, like, I don't know, it depends a little bit on what currencies are supported by osmosis in the end, but this is how this would work. Of course, this depends on someone should build UIs to support all of this on mobile that leverage protocol. That'd be cool to see, actually.
I mean, the basic thesis of Namada is that what really matters for data protection, user privacy, is keeping your assets shielded. But when you need to pay someone, sending them somewhere else and swapping and sending to someone's Thai baht receiver address or what have you, or even using another fiat gateway, that interaction doesn't really leak very much because all of your assets are shielded. No one knows where it came from. So Namada aims to kind of connect to the existing ecosystem of DEXs like Osmosis, and make it possible for users to keep their assets shielded but unshield them and pay someone, including potentially a swap, in one unified user flow, which will involve some messages over IBC.
Yeah, so instead of using smart contracts, like when you think about what developers might make using Namada, we use something called shielded actions, and that allows, you know, the way we do that is through packet forwarding. I don't want to use the terminology, but like
Packet forwarding middleman.
Yeah, like I mean, basically you executing code through
over IBC.
Yeah, over IBC, like cross-chain packets. So ideally, you know, ultimately, like I should be able to put USDC into Aave, and I should be able to use Namada to do that. Basically, anything that I would normally do, I should be able to use Namada to do without, like, to be able to break that linkability.
We got Hannah Rose in the chat.
Oh,
should we bring her on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good to see you, Tango.
Hi. Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me
Hello.
okay?
Yeah, hey.
Good. Hi.
How's the kid hack going?
How are you guys doing? Congratulations.
Oh.
Behind you.
So far, it's very smooth.
Really, really cool.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We're actually at our hacker house, or like retreat. So the entire Helix team is in Zurich right now. So we're like in the background there. Oh, everyone is just running around.
And
but it's incredibly cool to see right now. I mean, like all of Namada was fully launched decentralized in a decentralized way. So it's like 181 validators across the globe that like stood up the entire network. This really goes back to the roots, I think. I think only Cosmos really ended up doing this.
A decentralized launch, fully
decentralized launch. So it's like Namada is fundamentally built by the community for the community, and like the community is running it. It's very cool to see.
Didn't you guys have to do a ceremony similar to what Zcash had to do, or did you not have to do that? Oh,
we did. Towards the end of 2022, we launched the Namada Trusted Setup. We got about more than 2,500 people participating in the ceremony. At that time, that was actually the largest
It is still
ceremony.
the largest. Everyone else is kind of like at 500 and going like, oh, this is the largest one in history so far.
I don't
That's
know
true.
after,
It's
but
very
at the
large.
time,
I
it
don't know,
was
like-
actually the one with the largest number of
Absolutely.
individuals participating as a ceremony. So,
Nice.
yeah, we did
I
that.
think I don't know where I saw it. I think maybe you guys tweeted it. It's one of you. You had tweeted the Cosmos launch video. Never
It was
watched
Gavin.
it. So good, and it was so weird. Like it was like, oh my gosh, everyone's like,
Babies, right?
Did you
Babies a
never
little
see,
bit.
did you not see it? Did you not watch that ceremony when it happened?
I think like I remember Cosmos launching, but I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw that video. I wasn't like on
Okay.
Twitter watching that. I saw you in it though. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, it was. We were nerding out. It was pretty fun.
It was really cool to watch that. It was sweet.
It's funny because at the time, like so jacked about it, and then when I watched it over again, I was like, you know, it was nostalgic. But there were long periods of time with like nothing much exciting happening, and like you know, objectively, I think anybody else watching it who wasn't part of it would kind of be like, this is boring a little bit.
Although looking back, it's fun again. I think it's also people like now you watch it and I think there's so much more understanding of the terms that the team is using. But when it launched, a lot of people didn't really know what any of that meant, like anyone outside of that team. And I mean, it might be similar today where it's like there's a lot of concepts that are being pioneered today. You guys are super familiar with it. I think I'm somewhat familiar with it. Chango, you're somewhat familiar with it. But some of these terms are going to become more and more just like ubiquitous and people will like already know what you mean, but in the future. That's sort of a thought. Like really, like looking at that Cosmos video, I think at the time, I wouldn't have known the nuances, like where people were very excited about something. I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't know what that means. Like, you know, time goes on and you're like, whoa, that was actually.
Yeah, like how our
That aged well.
Normalized.
Yeah, but then proof of stake was like
exactly.
So many people were skeptical about it. And this was a world where everything was proof of work.
Yeah, we really didn't know whether proof of stake would even work at the time. You know, it was still an open question.
It still is an open
It is
question.
kind of, right?
It's an open question. I mean, research on silver resistance is still like such an open field.
Yeah.
And it has proof of stake has trade-offs. It's not perfect.
We might have deterministic finality, but you know, the success of proof of stake is probabilistic.
I mean, so far, at least all the new infrastructure layers are launching with proof of stake. So I would say by now it's been normalized.
Yeah, it's feeling like it's going to stick around.
We have Dr. Nick.
Hey, Nick Allman.
Oh, hey.
Hey, everyone.
Hey. Good to see you.
Congrats on the blocks.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're pretty excited.
Actually, no, congrats should really not go.
Yeah,
to
actually not
anyone
to
in the
us.
room. I mean, it's the validators that. I have to say, I was very skeptical when the validators proposed the entire program. I was like, oh man, it's going to take such a long time. But it seems to have been a good idea.
Which is also really efficient and quick.
Yeah.
And the delegators. Without delegators, there would be no stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well done for doing such a decentralized launch as well. It's like really pushing the space forward. I think it's been really good.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that like people can see how smoothly it went and know that you really can rely on your community at large to be responsible and capable and engaged. That's what we found anyway.
Yeah,
There wasn't.
I mean, it's amazing to see literally hundreds of different validators and entities come together and start the chain so smoothly and so quickly.
Yeah, and people know elements of it so well. They probably know elements. There are people who know each element probably better than most of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like individually.
Yeah, no, they've really been. So many people in the community have been engaged and contributing significantly for literally years at this point.
Yeah.
It's close to 3
like
years.
The very first public testnets of Namada, I think, were in summer
May 2020.
May 2020.
Because P2P just tweeted about it. That
my God.
P2P was on the first testnet.
I'm sorry, did you say May 2020?
No, that can't be
No,
true.
2022, sorry.
Oh, okay.
May 2022, that's when we launched like the first private testnets. I still remember that. And it's recorded in the Namada, in the community docs, actually. Because I remember it was like we had a solid group of like dozens of validators who were already testing the protocol that early, and it just kept breaking. It's really nice. So shout out again to all those validators who like joined
persistent,
systems.
right? There've been a lot of persistence.
Yeah. It was like first private testnets. You can look in the community docs. And a lot of them just stuck around.
Yeah.
Hey folks, I want to say congrats again. I actually have to jump off because we're hosting ZK Hack online right now. Like we're in the midst of it. So later tonight we're going to be doing a live stream as well. So maybe I'll see you there. But yeah, congrats everyone.
You may want to ping someone from the team.
Huh?
You may want to ping someone from the team about the validator.
Oh, the ZK validator.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Thank you, Anna.
Figment should also look into this.
Reels goes on now.
What's that?
Reels
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Nice to see you in person.
Oh yeah.
Could you like talk, like introduce?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, you have a few different pseudonyms, right?
Oh yeah. First of all, congratulations on the mainnet and on the blogs. Actually, long short story, I'm just a sealed expedition participant, and I came to know about Namada 7 months ago, and I started building things on Namada. And now it's been a great journey for me, like building things. And then right now I'm focusing on building a mobile wallet for Namada as well.
Talk about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're pretty excited about
It's,
that.
it's so great to see you all guys here. Yeah.
It's great to have you here, and it's great that you're working on a mobile wallet because like that's something that like I think we can all get pretty excited about. We got some. At some point, it might be nice to share some of the demos that you've got. No pressure. We don't have to do that yet.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for
A
joining
mobile
us.
wallet is key for doing peer-to-peer transactions.
Yeah.
Like in person. Yeah. How does it like? Are we able to run a light node through Namada? Do you have like? Is it like Tendermint light nodes or how does it work?
Sorry, are you referring to me?
There's no way to point to the live stream. Yeah.
Yes, is the answer.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about how your mobile app will work? Do you have, are you ready to hear anything about it?
So I'm trying to build a cross-platform mobile apps using Tori, which is an SDK framework for Rust. And then I'm entirely using Namada SDK, which is like Rust. I'm not using the JavaScript SDK. And then there's a platform called Tori, which allows users to build mobile apps cross-platform, iOS and Android, and even desktop. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that Tori framework.
Cool.
And then now I did like to start with basic functionality such as shielding, asset, and then IBC transfer, and then later I can commit on more things. But for now, I want to stick at the let's say transparent transfer and then IBC transfer, something like that.
Yeah.
And then later I can move on other great things. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so fun. That's great. Actually, Spork, Ian, I guess I can dox him. Ian from Knowable is working. He demonstrated like he's working on. I don't know if he's going to be this, but I'm telling people this. But he made like just like a proof of concept, like contactless payment system with like a Raspberry Pi.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah.
Cool.
You can. It's a Raspberry Pi. It's got a little screen and it generates a QR code, and so that the vendor or whatever would have that, and they would punch in the amount. It would create a QR code, and then you scan it with your phone with the app on your phone, and it can sign it offline, and then it uses like contactless to post the transaction to the Raspberry Pi, and then that posts it on chain. So you only need an internet connection for the vendor, and then it posts the signed transaction.
So it's basically doing a Diffie-Hellman transaction offline, and then the only thing that's transmitted online is when the vendor basically approves the transaction and receives it. The do you know Keystone Wallet?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I've got them here with me, actually. They're neat.
You do? Oh my god. Yeah. So I'm the biggest Keystone advocate now because it's so good. And you know, like Ledger started doing the what do they do? They like remotely store your keys in, you know, like 4 different places, your private keys. So I've been promoting Ledger Keystone, and it's really good, and it works just like that.
Do you have to build a different app for it?
No. They totally integrate with all of the major blockchains. So they integrate with Soulflare, or like, you know, it could be MetaMask. I think they integrate with Kepler too. So it works for every major wallet for every ecosystem.
Okay, cool.
Is it similar to the hardware wallet that Shapeshift used to do?
No, Shapeshift had Passkey. It was a different wallet.
By the way, switching a little bit topic, just how do you know Nick?
We met.
I've never seen Nick around. I wonder, like, it was great to have you here.
I didn't even like properly introduce you. So Nick and I met in Brussels, and it was kind of it was under some funny circumstances because there were only a few of us in at a hookah bar, and we were talking about a topic. I can't remember what it was, and I was talking about this lately. I can't quite remember where, and you were like, "Yeah, me too, actually." And then I said, "Oh yeah, I remember it was on Twitter," and I pulled up the tweet, and you were like, "That's me." And we had
that's right, yeah. What was it about? It was I was talking about AI and how I thought it was going to drive through a kind of new era of privacy, because the AI surveillance, corporate surveillance, is going to get so crazy that everyone's going to get so creeped out by Altman and friends stealing all their data that they're going to finally care about privacy.
I remember we talked about that. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I get excited when people talk about this because the Apple iPhone 16 has all these incredible sensors now and then like there's all this metadata that it's collecting that it's sending to Apple's Apple Intelligence, I guess that's what they call it.
Yeah. Which is actually OpenAI as well. It's just like
it's OpenAI under the hood. It's not Apple.
Yeah, Apple Intelligence is just GPT basically. But yeah, they've supposedly got like this fancy way of doing the inference without ever revealing your data, but I just don't trust it. Like Apple have lost me now with the
right, and so that gives them plausible deniability. But at the same time, if anyone wanted to query that information, they could just go to the AI and be like, well, you know, we weren't technically collecting it, the AI was, so like who's responsible?
Yeah, exactly.
But if they go down if they go down that route, you know, crypto people who deploy AI agents and launch meme coins and everything could technically use that argument. It wasn't me. This is not my meme coin.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the reason why they've done so well, right? Is because like the AI did it, not me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're working on a project that revolves around AI.
Yeah, I've been working on DAOs for many years now, and so one of the things I'm super excited about what you guys are doing is the kind of public goods funding piece. I think you might be one of the first chains to actually integrate PGF into the validator inflation rewards, which is fantastic, and I'm super excited to see what you guys do there. But yeah, governance has been my primary sort of thing for many years, and I just think that you know, DAOs have always been searching for this use case that could go mainstream, and my sort of thesis on it is that governing an AI model is probably going to be it. So I'm interested in building DAOs where people can collaboratively train AIs, but keep the data sort of private within their DAO, and then they can monetize it together and govern a model in a sovereign fashion. So we don't have to like trust some centralized company to decide what truth is for us. So yeah, I'm kind of working up to that, trying to nail in the governance stuff, but primarily like finding ways to for people to share their data and privately and shift a model forward. And that's the kind of bit we're working on at the moment. But I'm also kind of really interested in ways that we can onboard people into DAOs without them kind of realizing it's a DAO. So it's kind of a community that's got an AI agent, and then we can subtly, leak new little cypherpunk technologies to them. So this is where it's like, oh, now you're in this little community. Why don't you use some shielded assets? And why don't you use a mixnet to hide your sort of footprint on the internet and things like that? So Trojan horses is what we need, I think, for bringing in privacy to them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and it'll matter so much more. I think a lot of edge cases right now that emerge from, this kind of digital surveillance world that we live in. But like you said, after all the data is scraped, then the competitive edge for a race for more data is just, it's more and more encroachment into our lives until the incentives are so strong that it's like, it seems like you said, it's inevitable that one of these companies is going to start really stepping over some lines, probably.
Yeah, these AI assistants, they need to work. They need like full visibility of your machine, and they're increasingly going into the operating system game. So they want to see like absolutely everything on your machine. That's how they're going to personalize the experience for you. And yeah, we've run out of tokens. We've basically used like all the language that exists in humanity. We've done like 95% of it. So the next frontier is getting the data that we haven't put up yet.
Did you ever read, as usual, we're all just like rehashing the plot of William Gibson novels?
Yeah.
Did you ever read, I think one of them, I don't remember if it was in the Neuromancer trilogy, but one of his earlier ones had a character, in this sort of dystopian economy whose job was to walk around with a bodysuit covered in cameras, just like collecting data, feeding it to the surveillance models. And I mean, it's
that's the Zuckerberg glasses, right? Like, notice the Mark Zuckerberg's Ray-Bans are cheaper than Ray-Bans, despite having like, fancy new augmented reality technology in it. They're actually like cheaper than basic Ray-Bans because they're doing that job, right? I'm
because you're the product.
Yeah, you're just collecting the image data for Zuck's real world metaverse in the future, and you can't escape it, right?
Like a Google car, right? That drives around doing Google Street View. You're like the Google car now.
You are the Google car, and like you can't even like not consent to it, right? Because you just need to be like on the tube with someone looking at you with a pair of glasses, and you're in the model now. And this is the kind of thing that I think is going to make people just all of a sudden care about privacy, because they're just gonna find out it finally gets to the point where it's too creepy for people to like tolerate. I think anyway. We'll see.
Minority Report. Have you guys watched that?
Yeah, the pre-crime thing is starting to come up again. That's like
it is
super scary.
Yeah,
really scary.
Right, and it's one of those things where like if you go to airports, there, especially in Europe and Asia, they've already built the facial recognition check-ins, and that was all done in the last year or two, and without our consent. I think it might have all been installed, like they just like hard forked the airports and installed it during COVID when people weren't traveling. Because when we started traveling again, it was all over the place. It was already there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the kind of it was just in Wired this week. They were like, you know, AIs can predict crimes with like 90% accuracy before they happen.
Yeah.
And it's like literally the scariest thing. And like, and the only way that you can not end up in a predictive model like this is if you stop leaving digital footprints all over the internet. Like, where are they getting this predictive data from? It's monitoring your social media. It's monitoring your internet footprint. It's and again, people are going to start getting put in the back of a van for crimes they haven't even committed yet. Like weirdly dystopian stuff. It's and yeah, like, and the AI companies are like all in on this, right? You know, it's really, really scary.
Yeah, the iPhone technology, your Aura Ring, Fitbit, all of that stuff, it's all data that they're collecting, right? So they could figure out your heart rate, so they could infer what you're feeling in that moment, and you know whether or not you had great or bad sleep, which might inform like how good or bad of a day that you're gonna have, and all that information is gonna be right. And your iPhone knows if you've gotten into a car crash or not. So it's just too much information that they're having in real time.
Yeah, it's yeah, the amount of data points that are collected on just everyone on a daily basis now, it's going exponential. I think there's the amount of data that's making it, and then it all gets leaked anyway, right? You know, like all of these massive data sets that people are being compiled on, they all end up making it onto the dark web and that's just the ones that are like stolen. There's ones that are collected legitimately that are just sold by data brokers.
Palantir.
Yeah, and like financial data is the most valuable data as well. So like the micro targeting you can do, the most valuable micro targeting you can do is the data of how you spent your money and where you spent it and when you spend it and how much you travel and all of this. That like people shouldn't have to be micro targeted like that. And I think this is the time when people need to start like taking agency over their own data. And yeah, just start like, it's just good like hygiene basically. It's just like looking after your privacy just gives you better quality of life because you don't get fed micro-targeted adverts. So I think like corporate surveillance generally is the angle for us to, because the privacy thing's always had a bit of a kind of slightly moody underbelly to it, where people are a little bit scared about supporting it. And because what does it mean? You know, like I'm trying to fight the government or something. No, I just don't want like massive mega corporates knowing everything I'm doing. That's a legitimate enough reason to want to have to care about privacy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep harping about this. I mean, this is just as someone who used to live in California and was taxed by that government, and now reconsidering going back there, you know, you realize that like you can't. And I wanted to do it like not on paper, if you know what I mean. I'm a resident in a no tax state, and I want to keep it that way. But I do want to spend some time in California. However, if you have even like any credit card trail in California, if you have like phone records calling out of California, calling out of California, then they're going to try to tax you as a California resident. So you can't even just.
I mean, I don't know if you saw today, France are deciding to tax unrealized capital gains on crypto. And, you know, it's a sign of like, you know, public finances are getting thin and, you know, like bank balances are getting a bit low on the public coffers. So that's when they start like, you know, calling in the checks, and I think it's all going to get a bit much for people. So I think it's a huge opportunity. I think this is like really timely moment to bring a network like this online, because yeah, I think people are going to really start wanting financial privacy, and caring about it, just like everyday people. I think that's the next frontier. I think like how do we convince the everyday people that like you should care about privacy? I think that's one of the things that we should like focus as much effort as we can on, I think.
Yeah, financial privacy isn't the only thing either. I mean, we talked about how our phones and our smart devices are the ones tracking us all over the place and collecting the most amount of data. So hopefully there's some innovation there as well. Is it too much to ask for our phones to just be dumb or encrypted devices and not share all of this information to someone else's server?
Yeah, I think the Apple Intelligence thing has finally kicked me out of the Apple ecosystem, and I'm finally going to get finally going to move over to graphene, I think, and like make the jump and dog food some of these technologies next year. And I think like one of the best things we could do is just like all pick a day where we just all decide to use privacy technologies together, and it's part of that kind of anonymity set idea. If you kind of just like all of a sudden go dark and just like disappear, that's a data point in itself, right? But if we all do it together, then that sort of we all sort of blend in with the crowd, and I think it's how we find doing it collectively is I think one of the things which is why I'm sort of like interested in the DAO stuff as well. It's like this is how we coordinate people to do stuff together. So I'm super interested in how we like figure out how to do the privacy thing together and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The DAO stuff is interesting. So I've been dabbling a lot in the meme coin space, and there's a lot of
Nice.
AI researchers. Yeah, there's actually like a really cool crew of AI researchers that are just like hanging out in Discords together. And so to I guess implement a DAO over that would be kind of codifying the community in a certain way.
Yeah, there's a few. It's been really interesting actually. The AI meme coin thing there's like people taking it really seriously. I'm in a few of these groups and watching them hack together. Like they're really going for it. Like there's that AI 16Z group, and there's another one called Opus, which is like they're legit hacking together, like little agentic apps that they're at the state of the art in some cases. And what's interesting about the DAO stuff is that they're generating these collective data sets. So they're actually feeding these novel data sets from these people in the crowd. So and again, it legitimizes a meme coin, so which puts this kind of weird incentive alignment on like pushing agents into a new direction. So yeah, it's actually really exciting and cool, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are any of these groups investigating things similar to the kind of DAO governed large language model that you're interested in, or is it more meme coin driven for like?
Yeah, most of it's like, how do we maximally pump the meme coin? Right, so it's like most of them seem to be focused on this, like it was this guy who the GOAT token, which is like this guy that kind of endorsed a meme coin and has a agent running his Twitter account, which just shit posts all day. And most of them seem to be like focused on optimizing for shit posting at the moment. But yeah, I think no one's quite at this like idea yet of like how do we get a group to like actually take sovereign control of a model. Because at the moment we're kind of like this whole AI safety narrative as well is like I think quite toxic in many ways. And is an excuse to centralize the governance of these things. We can't be trusted to have decide what our own taste of how information should be presented to ourselves. So yeah, I'm really interested in like how do we get LLMs that are genuinely governed in a way that's outside of the centralized way of doing things. Like for example, there's this guy David Mayer. I call it the Mayer effect. He's like one of the Rothschilds like family. If you just type who is David Mayer into GPT, it just doesn't give you a response. It just doesn't answer. And yeah, he's managed to like expunge himself from the records of LLMs. And what this means is that anyone can, right? And these things are the new source of truth. So where have we got the information from for the last, like 20 years? Google. Next 20 years, it's going to be an API from some centralized company that's going to literally decide what truth is. And that's an incredibly dangerous position to be in, because we can just now the game is who controls the truth. And
is this fundamentally different than Google right now? I mean, if Google wants to censor certain content right now, they also could. We don't have any verified. We just assume that they don't, right? But
no, we know they do.
They do.
We know. Machine learning fairness. We've broken that news time. That's
this independent of the underlying algorithm, whether it's an API or a website you go to, it's just an API. You're talking to someone else's server to feed you information.
Yeah, so Google at least presents the primary sources to you. At least it presents the links, and you navigate yourself to the. They do absolutely shape what links you're presented with in what order by the PageRank algorithm, whatever you. But there's a step further with AIs where they synthesize all the information and just present it as facts to you. And yeah, I think that's another step forward. And I think Microsoft have started the way that they start to try looking into monetizing their models is by selling the sources. So it gives you little sources in your LLMs, and that's what you can buy in there. So that how things are sourced are paid for. So yeah, I think it's going to be important for us to just decentralize our access to I think we've done really well at decentralizing finance and money. I think sort of next frontier is how do we decentralize information and sources of information and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of think AI is in form of if there's an AI is on a decentralized platform, and then you can let it do micro tasks based on their LinkedIn profiles, or an AI having its own personality, and then on a decentralized platform where you can train or you can hire this AI for a certain purpose of, well, let's say you want to write essay, or you want to solve CAPTCHA. Could be a good platform to have decentralized and on top of that add privacy on that one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be specialization. I think these big general pre-trained models, they're not very specialized. So really specialized use cases like the ones you were talking about there, and I think that's the edge.
Let's see.
Maybe we should give a little recognition to some of the engineers who did some of this work.
You're so awesome.
Fix the bugs later.
Yeah. Come join us. Jay. There you go. I mean, maybe you can talk a little bit about what you're
Here, John, or Marco, you go in the center.
Marco.
First of all, these are the unsung heroes. There are more.
Definitely big unsung hero.
Long hours. Many challenges.
The grind.
Of course, if we could have had everyone from the community on this couch, we would. But you're all here in spirit. Thank you to you too. A little round of applause.
How do you guys feel?
Pretty good.
With like.
No, pretty great. Yeah. Maybe, I mean, better than 1 hour ago, yeah, for sure.
From the outside, it's looked like a sprint through a marathon.
Yeah, pretty sprint. Yeah, sure.
How long have you guys all been working on it for the same amount of time?
3 years.
I would say so. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good here.
3 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Room over here.
Brent came in a little bit later, but still.
Yeah. Come on
Yeah,
in.
come on in.
Yeah.
There are quite a few people who worked on this.
Yeah. It's good.
Another little round of applause. I don't know if you just want to talk about kind of a little bit about your work, like what your role is, what's in Namada. Introduce it, maybe just you could just say your name and what you did. We can start here.
Me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm Harrison. I'm helping with the Namadillo and the website communication in general.
Hey, I'm Tiago, aka Sugo. I break things, then I fix the things I break, and that's pretty much it.
Hello, my name is Pedro. I work as well on the Namadillo and communication websites.
My name is Maurice. I try to make things work in the math and the hardware one.
The ledger.
Yeah, you got a ledger.
The ledger.
Yeah. Maurice does a pretty good job of making things work.
Yeah.
I'm Brent. I built a lot of the proof of stake module along with someone else who's not here who deserves truly all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
A guy named Tomasz, and I'm the project lead of Namada now.
Hey, Marco, worked on some part of the protocol like gas and fee system, replay protection, and the MASP. Anything else? No.
The reigning champion of Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Williams.
Undefeated
So far. Let's see this time. Let's see.
I'm Marco. On GitHub, I'm called Frakaman, and also on Discord. I worked a lot on governance and PGR, and now I'm working on the indexer and helping other people with what they need. Basically,
lots of DevOps stuff.
Lots of infra. Yeah.
A little bit of infra here and there. Yeah.
You're kind of like a jack of all trades.
I try.
Yeah, I'm Jacob. I go by Backconjure Online. I've been working on the various aspects of the protocol and client. I've had my hands in a lot of things, and I'm mostly the guy who's just shouting and cursing too loudly.
Chris, you want to?
Yeah, you here. Come in here.
Well, I'm Chris. I'm the head of design and UX, so I'm responsible for putting all this yellow goodness into your eyes and blinding everyone. I was working on the branding, websites, Namadillo. It's been great. I'm so glad it's worked.
And Zach, maybe you should come out from behind controls.
Yeah.
Make it a little
running the stream.
I'm Zach. I'm the guy behind the camera running the stream. I do comms and marketing, so if you ever want to complain about our tweets, please reach out.
Yeah, sure.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I've lost audio.
Yeah, the audio's out.
I don't know why it does that.
Wait, we totally missed your intro. The audio was cut out.
Does it work?
Now it is.
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, so hello, my name is Mateusz, and I'm mostly working on Namadillo, on extension, and a bit on the indexer. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Namadillo is lovely, by the way. I staked my first NAM earlier. It's beautiful.
Whoa! How long did it take you to do it? Do you think? Like how many seconds?
How long did it take? Oh,
Like
it
how
was,
long did it take you? or from from the first time you touch any of the interface until you actually stick
They're saying they've all sound
Like minutes. Like it was super smooth. Like,
awesome.
It was fantastic. I thought it was really good.
But to give shout out to Justin, he's not here, but he did a lot of work on the extension. So big shout out to Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a number of folks who aren't here, both within and outside of PLAX as well. There are a lot of people who came together to make this happen. Do you want to say hi, Julian? Okay. We have another guest here.
Hi, I'm CryptoDruid, early Namada supporter and early contributor also, and now working on Lumina, which is supporting Namada, of course, and contributing in multiple aspects. I've built the Namada.help website, which you can find like a lot of information to onboard, and building multiple community support tools. So yeah, that's it.
Hey. Thanks, Israel.
Today, this might be a good time to wrap. Any other last words?
Maybe let's just go back. I don't know. What's people who wait until book had thousands, but
yeah, we're all waiting tomorrow.
Blocks away.
What do you feel the champagne?
Yeah. I mean, it's an idea, but no.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for joining us in this. It's particularly exciting for us, so I hope that you were able to enjoy it as well. We'll see you online.
Yes, but let's just let's do some stuff to remind people about it.
Yeah.
Mainnet has started. It's phase 1. What happens next?
Phase 2, the staking rewards will kick in. Phase 3 will start having like cross-chain deposits, so you'll be able to start depositing assets from other chains over LEC. Phase 4, you'll start being rewarded for the the different tokens you've deposited from other chains. Phase 5, NOM transfers will be enabled, so you'll be able to transfer the NOM token last, and then that's it. I think then we're fully at mainnet, and we should be able to see some kind of fun stuff like shielded swaps, and that'll be sort of the beginning of shielded actions. So we'll have I think we'll have some workshops around how to make shielded actions and maybe some little hackathons, grow a bit of a developer community around that, and just really
shielded sync eventually.
Yeah,
they can do oblivious message retrieval.
What's that?
That you can figure out your nodes from an indexer more quickly without revealing any data to the indexer.
Okay, yeah. So tightening up any potential data leaks, making things more performant, and really integrations and user interfaces. That's like the bulk of the work.
I have to say I'm impressed though. Our user interfaces look better than 90. Especially the Explorer, so just great. They decode everything. They look awesome. Yeah.
How can the community support?
I think we really want to focus on education about what exactly Namada is doing and what it's capable of. A lot of platforms, the common things what kind of things can I build in a smart contract? But Namada's not using smart contracts, so people might think, can't really, how do you build them? And that's, so a lot of education around shielded actions, and then, a ton of work around user interfaces. We really want to make, one of the key things that we're bringing in here is, seamless privacy integration, so that you can do all the things that you would have wanted to do before without being excluded from, where the action's at. You don't have to go to, some chain that's separate from everywhere you would normally be to get some privacy. And the other big one is public goods funding, to be able to, effectively allocate, resources, tokens to, enter a virtuous cycle so that we can get a lot more of what we want, so that we can, continue to fund open source software and to continue to develop what we're developing.
instead of hopping from token to token, instead of like issuing new tokens is the only means of like getting any sort of excitement or capturing any value. We should be able to continue to actually like develop within a community without just like exiting to the next platform. What about you, Chris? What do you think?
I mean, I'm thrilled to hear that someone's working on a mobile wallet. I think for practical shielded payments, especially peer-to-peer in person, paying people when you see them, or I like to shop at farmers markets, like these kinds of places. A mobile wallet's really essential. So I hope to support that initiative, learn more, use it, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. And also just very excited about the Anoma ecosystem at large. There are like projects like Mycel, and then there's Anoma itself, and for Namada to be payment rails for Anoma. Yeah, so a lot to look forward to. And
ecosystem can start self-organizing.
Exactly.
You need payment rail.
Yeah, and you can't really coordinate without
identity system, shielded identity system.
Oh, interesting.
I hadn't thought about that. Actually unlocks a lot of things for it.
Yeah.
Like DAOs, things around communities, forming around Anoma as well.
Absolutely. Making commitments. So yeah, a lot to look forward to together. And yeah, I guess we'll see everybody online. Thanks so much to our guests for joining. Thanks. There are just too many people to thank, but big broad thank you to everybody.
Congrats for launching. We are at height 721. The network has not halted all this time.
This might be a good place to wrap. All right. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, and thanks especially to Helix for having me as a guest.
Thank you for coming, making it all the way here.
This is I always feel welcome here. So thank you.
Oh wow! I totally thought you joined the team.
No. Yeah. So I didn't introduce myself. I'm Gavin from Knowable. We're a small company that we're focused on. We're focused on, I guess, attracting other core teams to do sort of what we're doing. We think of like blockchains as sort of like blockchains and blockchain community is similar to a startup, where it starts off where you're just putting up flyers, and then ideally, you're attracting like, instead of people, teams that are like particularly good at one element of, what is an ecosystem. It's like a living thing. It's really so many of these blockchains and blockchain communities are totally dependent on one like founding and core team, and it just stays that way. But I think we really need to decentralize the teams as well, because I think it's like it bottlenecks. It's just bad for everyone, and it's a win. It's a wins all around. I think if you can coordinate multiple teams to steward the growth of a. I think there's a great opportunity if anybody's thinking about that sort of thing out there. Feel free to reach out. I can talk about what the opportunity is. I'm happy to, spread the how to play that game.
How can people join the community?
That's a great question. A lot of the talking we do, like in the real time, is in Discord. I think Namada. I don't know what it is. Discord.com/NamadaGG. I think Namada
GG Namada? Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Oh wow, Namada.
I'll post it in the chat.
Okay, so we're in Discord. We have a Discord server. It's very lively. We try to keep it streamlined so you can get bombarded with channels when you join, and ideally get oriented quickly enough. If you're at a slower pace, the forum is where you want to go. That's forum.namada.net.
That's right.
And we're active on Twitter or X. There might be.
I mean, there can always be other.
There are probably
other things.
There are probably the things that I'm not remembering. Anyone? Julian, do we have any other? We've got the forum. We've got the Discord. Twitter. Yeah. So and again, Namada.help is like a great way to start if you're just getting yourself familiar with what Namada, how to use Namada. So,
Cool.
Thanks for everybody for joining. There are a lot of people.
The more than 13,500 people.
It says 14,000. 13.5?
Yeah, 13.5 people joining from all over the world.
Wow. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
for
joining
online.
Thank you. you.